My name is Cassandra. I am your Stitch Witch Creations, and I am going to give this video to vlogging and YouTube thing a try. I figured for my first video, I'm just going to spend the time showing you all the different stuffies and other products that I have to offer at my next event, which will be this Saturday, April 12th at Fighting Hand Brewery in Central Louisiana. The event's going to be held by Mystic Bazaar. So let's get to it. So one of my older items I've had that I'm going to be showing you is this ginormous cow. The patterns from Lily and Rose or Rose and Lily. I can't remember the order of it, but it is a free pattern. I will try the best to tell you the patterns that I used as best I can. But here's this guy. Then I also have two smaller cows. I have this one that's this pink fluffy Highland cow, and then this little standard, more traditional cow. These patterns, I remember I got them off of Etsy, but I can't remember the person who made them. Hopefully in future videos I can tell you. I also have these two geese. The pattern's called the Silly Goose. It's on Instagram. It's a free pattern. And I love them. They're huge. They were so much fun to make. Something else that I want to point out with my patterns, when I'm able to, I do use different yarn brands and styles of yarn. Like on my goose, his little feetsies are made with nothing but acrylic. His body is Barnett blanket, and his little beak, I did a combination of acrylic and velvet to give it this really cool texture as well. I like incorporating different textures into my products for different sensory feels. I also have these two absolutely adorable ducks. This is Dodo the duck pattern. This guy, I followed the pattern exactly. This guy, I modified it to meet more of a mallard look, but I also modified it to where it was no sew, except for sewing on his little feet and his little wings. Again, his beak, I also had to sew on, but his beak and his feet are made with acrylic, and then his white is done with the Michaels brand chenille yarn. The head is Barnett. I think the body is leftover of my Joann's Big Twist plush. Trying to keep with the theme of my barnyard animals. I also have 3 little piggies. All 3 of them made with a different yarn. All 3 of them have different feels and squish levels. I've got this really pretty pink sparkly one. And this nose. I've got this one that's a little bit more muted of a pink. And then this one that's kind of got this really cool like striping going through him. I think it turned out really, really adorable. They're all a great squish level. They have little nubbins for the feet. And again, their bodies and tail and ears are made out of one type of yarn. And their little snouts are made out of another type of yarn. Next, I've got my 3 bats. I love these bats. This is the Kawaii bat pattern. I believe it's free on Ravelry. We have this purple and black one. Well, it's not black. It's actually a really dark gray. I have this like neon rainbow color and black as well. And then this guy I took velvet yarn and double stranded it with and acrylic yarn. And there's this guy. He kind of gives me Beetlejuice vibes, but not quite Beetlejuice. Alright, the next guys I've got are, I have 3 little spider. Well, not little. They're kind of big. Chunky. I love making these guys. They're so much fun to make. It's hard for me to incorporate different yarn textures on him. This is a no-sew pattern off of Ravelry. I believe it's off of Ravelry. And the legs are this fun curly Q pattern, and they're just really fun to like squish and squeeze and tug on. And all my stuffed animals, when I sew them, they have limbs and stuff to attach. I sit there and I pull and I tug on them and make sure they aren't going anywhere. To keep up with the bug theme, I also have this All From Jade ant fidget. I'm still not 100% on making these patterns. They're really cute when they're done, but the pattern's kind of a pain because you make the head, you make the body, and then this guy, each little individual flaps a separate piece that you then have to attach them on. But he's, again, a little bit fun. You can kind of twirl him. You got the little layers, all that good stuff. I also have this guy. This is from the Kawaii Patterns book. Plants book. And he was a labor of love. Because I had to make his little base. I had to make his little face. I had to make all of the petals, sew them on individually, and then his stems got wire in it. But he is such a fun little guy. I love this little sunflower, and hopefully he'll find a good home. What else do I have? I have some little sea turtles. I got 2 purple sea turtles. Both kind of have different expressions. The way I did their shell is I took acrylic and velvet and ran it together again. And then his head and flippers are made from either a Barnett yarn or a Big Twist plush. And his belly is made with the Michaels brand yarn. I can't remember what it's called. Loops and Thread something or another. I can't remember if this is Sweet Baby Snuggle or the home one. I have 2 little cauldrons left. Their bodies are black, obviously, because they're a cauldron. But also their bubbles, their potion glows in the dark. Along with their little ghost buddy, who also glows in the dark. I love the glow in the dark yarn. It's one of my favorite things to work with. I have got a variety of different quiet fidgets. These guys you can mess with and pop all day long and they make no noise. I've got this little Easter basket. It's a blue little bunny and it has an egg that pops in and out. I have a toadstool and his head mushroom pops up and down. I have this witch hat cap mushroom and his head pops up and down. I got a little strawberry that pops up and down. I have a variety of mushrooms. I'm not pulling them all out because we'd be here all day as I show each and every one. But they're little bitty guys. And it pops up and down and up and down and up and down. And I have these cute little carrots where the bunny pops in and out and in and out. I think that's actually all of my fidgets. I have a hard time keeping my fidgets in stock because people really, really like them. I also have this lone little Octo. I have this really cool Impkins. These came in a pattern book where it's kind of set up like Build-A-Bear. I have her other book nearby me. I think, no, yes. The creator of the Impkin book is Megan Lapp, creator of Crafty Intentions, and she has something Impkin is in the name. I don't have the book nearby me, but I have two of them. I've got this cute little sunflower guy. He's got his green body, his brown head, and his little sunflower. He's got like this fuzzy feel on the top of his head, and each of the little petals are made with an acrylic. He's got these awesome dragon eyes. I love them to death. And then I have this cool little wizard dude. And something I didn't realize when I was initially making him, I accidentally used a combination of like this beige and white while making him. So he kind of got this really cool coloration going to him, making him look a little more patchworked. But his hat's done with a combination of velvet and acrylic. And his body, I took the same acrylic yarn that I made through here and ran it through his body as well. I think it's actually the same acrylic that's running through my black and white bat as well. I have my one lone chameleon left. This was a really fun pattern to make as well. Again, his body's made out of one type of yarn, and his little head mohawk frill thingy is made with a combination of velvet and acrylic. I've got... Oh, I missed a couple of barnyard guys. I've got 2 chickens left. I've got a white chicken and a rainbow chicken. He's actually left over from Pride last year, and he's around the same era. It's a Mabel chicken. We all love her. And I have a bunny left. I think I have another bunny, but I'm not too sure where he is. But this bunny pattern is a no-sew as well, outside of, I think you have to sew the ears on, but don't quote me, I can't remember. I made these a few weeks ago. But this pattern, the way it worked up, it just reminds me of from the early 2000s, the Happy Bunny t-shirts that we all had before memes were a thing. He just reminds me of that. I have some whale guys that are still around, and I have currently one leggy frog left. I haven't made leggy frogs in a while. I kind of got bored with the pattern. The problem with me is I kind of follow the dopamine. If I get bored with a pattern after a while, I just stop making it unless I get a specific request. And then I have one last guy I want to show y'all before I go and dig out all of my wearables and my keychains. This is a mushroom throw pillow. What I did is I used that super chunky yarn that you have to use like a 15mm hook, and the same pattern as my standard little mushrooms from Jade. I used one of the larger patterns from it, and I love this thing. You've got 3 different brands. The cap has like this really cool texture. It's like they took velvet yarn and made a really long I-cord out of it, and these really pretty pastels. And you got the white bottom. You've got the gills under here are gray and speckly, and it's like this perfect size. You can kind of snuggle and rest your head on and feel like you're taking a nap back in high school. And that's it for my stuffed animals. I'm going to pause this and give me a couple of minutes to go gather up all of my wearables and some of my more home decor items. All right, so I've got, I think, everything else gathered. Marie, down. And as I'm looking at my keychains, I have a lot less keychains than I thought I did. So I need to re-up those before my next really big event. Because the next event after this event is like 2 days long. It's happens twice a year. I should find out soon as to whether or not I am going to be participating in that event. Waiting for the email back. But I've got 4 little potion bottle keychains. All of the potions glow in the dark. I also did it where I've got the glow in the dark yarn, I've got the acrylic yarn, and then all of their corks are made with velvet. So again, you've got the different textural feels between the different potion bottles. Oh, wait, I missed one. I have 5 potion bottles. So they're all keychains. They have these really adorable rainbow stars, and a few of them have other things, but they're these star clip keychains I thought were really pretty. I also have 1 lone heart left, and it just so happens to be pink, purple, and blue. If you know, you know. I have a dog barking in the background. And then I have a bunch of these little wristlet keychains in varying colors. Some of them even glow in the dark as well. Like I said, I like my glow in the dark yarn. And I have 1 lone little ghosty buddy as well. Isn't he adorable? He also glows in the dark. I got to put these back in the bag, and then we'll move on to the next guy. So the next thing I want to show you is I have a bunch of different stemmed flowers that I made up. I'm going to show you the different types of flowers I have, and then we'll go from there. I have these beautiful different lavenders. I was trying to use up all my different scrap yarns, and so that's what made me start doing the flowers. So we got this wonderful lavender. I have 1 carnation left. Oh wait, correction. 2 carnations left. I really liked how this one turned out. I think this is the yarn that I got from my mom. So I don't know if they still make this one. I have 3 tulips. I'll be honest, I didn't really enjoy making the tulips as much as I thought I would. So that's why there's only 3. And I have a few roses. I'm hoping to have a few more made before Saturday, but we'll see how time goes. Right here. And I tried to have where you had like multiples of them. And I am moving into my hats. So I've got some little checkered bucket hats. They're not necessarily anything special, but I went through a hyper focus where I made a bunch of these last year, and this is kind of what I have left. Going by how they've been really slow moving, I don't know if I'm going to continue to make these guys. I might try a different bucket hat pattern. They weren't really hard to make or anything, but I haven't been selling them that well, so no point in wasting the space for them. And give me a second while I pull out my next item. Okay, my next item has kind of been a hyper focus for me as well, but budget dictates that it can't be a very high hyper focus. But I've been making, I found silk yarn, specifically 100% mulberry silk, and I have made beanies with them. I've got this beautiful purple beanie. You know, silk's really, really good for your hair. I got this beautiful rainbow. This colorway was actually called Unicorn. These two are both by Revolution Yarn. And this was from an indie dyer. I can't remember the name of it, But this was also another hand-dyed silk. This one kind of reminded me of either Blippi because of the blue and orange, or another person. It reminded me of Bluey. You got Bluey and Bingo. My kids are obsessed with both of them. And then this one is from an indie dyer on Etsy that I found. This one was called Frost Flowers. It's absolutely beautiful. You got these greens and pinks and oranges. And I wanted to try a different pattern, but still kind of meshy. We are in Louisiana. It does get hot. So I wanted to make sure people's scalps were able to breathe. And that material was just such a dream to work with. The next, I'm going to put these guys up because I do package these guys a little bit different to help protect them. These are one of my more pricey items on the booth outside of the next items that I'm going to be showing you. So I decided last second to change up the order I was going to show you these because I want to show the whole thing that started me being called Stitch Witch last. So instead, I hope that I can get the camera to show these well. I'm going to show you my handmade, free-handed lace chokers. So this one is a beautiful red. I think it was called Poppy Red. With this pretty heart cross on it. And it's got hematite beads. This is 100% Egyptian cotton. And the gemstones that I'm going to show you are all real as far as I know. I'll be honest, I am not a geologist. So I try to label them as according to the packaging as best I can. Please forgive me if I mislabel any of them ever. I love making these chokers. They're a lot of fun. I kind of really get to practice my skills at it. The problem is I can only really make them around this time of year. Once, give or take, Thanksgiving hits, it's too cold for my hands to be able to handle it because it's such a tiny hook. We have on this next one, golden sandstone on this really pretty green with a wonderful little sun medallion on it. And I do try to include an extension chain on all of my chokers. That's a newer thing. If you have bought a choker from me in the past, now that I have the extensions in me, if you want to hit me up on it, I will be willing to add that on to you free of charge now that I have the ability to do so. So let me put that guy back in his pretty little box. And look at how awesome these boxes are. You got where you can lay the choker out flat to kind of help keep its shape. But then they just slide right in. And you got a little pull tab. I love these boxes. They're in my pretty purple. It's wonderful. Let's see, what's this one? Oh, this one's a beauty. This one has Indian agate and a beautiful bat. It's this pretty dusty mauve. And look at the intricate detail that is in there. And there's your little bat friend. And again, it's got the extension on them all because everybody's necks are sized a little different. I will say my chokers do run a little bit on the bigger end because I do try to size them to my neck. I am more on the plus size due to having children and having been on medications that caused me to gain weight I've struggled with. But I am happy with where I am now. So this one's kind of more of a Bridgerton inspired one. It's got these beautiful pastel colors, would be amazing with your Easter dress. It's got amethyst stones. And this, if I can get the camera to focus on it, a beautiful rose cameo on it. And it's just stunning. This one was a really fun one I made as well. And again, I don't really go in to making these chokers with a plan fully. I just kind of take the yarn and let my creativity flow. So it really allows me to experiment with different stitches, techniques, and everything really well. This one's one of my more simple ones. This is from when I first started. It's got Dalmatian Jasper on a beautiful blue, and it's got this really pretty little lantern on him. I've got several of these chokers. I kind of went ham on these. This one's green with fluorite. And again, this one has a butterfly cameo. I mean, look at how tiny my stitches are. You don't want to know the size of the hook. I'll probably answer if somebody asks. Get back in your home. I've got, this is one of my, I think this is one of the first ones I made. This one has purple mica. Again, Egyptian cotton. I think this one's technically even hand dyed, but don't quote me on that. I don't have this skein anymore beyond what I have here. But you got this beautiful little fairy and these pretty little purple mica stones. And it's just a really simple scallop detail going around. I've got 4 more of these. This one has pearls and a seashell. It does have, I think I sold the match that I made to it because I was thinking kind of like a friendship thing. But it's the same yarn as the last one. And these are real pearls and a real seashell. I've got some silk and crochet thread that I got in last week that I'm gonna, my goal is to make like a bridal piece. I haven't found the right pendant for it yet because I'm purposely being pickier on that. I am debating on maybe wire wrapping a large pearl for the center. I love pearls. Pearls and amethyst are like 2 of my favorite stones. This one is turquoise with a pretty octopus, and it's got this really pretty dusty lavender. Again, there's a lot of mesh work in this one. That'll stretch out really nice once you wear it on you. As you can see, it is a little bit more of a statement piece, but like I said, I love them. And I'm hoping that it matches somebody else's taste. What else do we have? Oh, this one I really like. I was airing back to my nautical days. I used to be in the Navy. And this one really inspired me with the, not steering wheel, captain's wheel, ship wheel. And we got natural seashells and this pretty brown. This was, again, one of my earlier ones. A lot of my earlier chokers, I actually dropped down in price quite a bit as my skill level increased. I wanted to drop those down a little bit to try to clear them out so that way I could have them. Now, this choker I'm showing you, I made a little bit smaller because I could just picture a little girl loving this. It has a pretty little ballerina on her. Am I showing her the right direction? Yes. Right there. And then that's cherry quartz that's on there as well. And it's this really fun pastel pretty color as well. All right. I got to put these all back in their home. And then I'm saving the best for last. They are my witch hats. The whole way I got started off being called the Stitch Witch. Okay, I realized that I forgot some items, but I'll be honest, I don't want to make this video any longer than it probably already is, with this being my first video. So I'm saving the best for last, and that is my witch hats. So I have two different styles of witch hats. I have this hat that's a little bit smaller, has a little bit lower profile. It fits a little bit closer to like a wide brim. Not wide brim, and sun hat or the old fedoras like we used to have. This one in particular is made with vintage yarn from, I believe, the 60s or 70s when I found out. It's got these pretty pinks and greens and browns going through. It's 100% cotton, with the exception of on the brim. On all of my brims, I took my glow-in-the-dark yarn and used it to help stabilize it. I also do have wire in the brim itself, so you can shape and mold it according to your taste. So I have this pretty pink one, this gray fading into a purple ombre with a gray glow-in-the-dark brim. I really liked how this one turned out. And then I have your classic standard black witch hat for whoever wants it. But even my black one has glow-in-the-dark going through it as well. I also have bigger, floppier witch hats that are a little bit closer to how I used to do them. I have this other purple and gray one. Purple and gray and, well, purple, black, and silver specifically are like my favorite color combination. So I do try to put a little bit of me in some of my stuff. That's why all my booth is purple, grays, silvers, and blacks, along with the spooky, the whimsical, the fantastical. That's what brings me joy. So these guys, they're bigger hats. They kind of sit floppier. They're supposed to bend back. And all of this style, I took a strand of acrylic yarn and a strand of cotton yarn and ran them together to try to make them a little bit more lightweight as well. And again, I have the glow-in-the-dark going on this one. The other one, I did gray on the purple and gray. This one, I did purple. So we have this guy. We also have this retro where I took Retro Stripe by Red Heart. So it's got the pinks and the yellows and the greens and this turquoise and its stripes. And I took a neon green glow-in-the-dark going through it as well. And I ran this with white yarn. I am debating on taking a skein of this yarn and doing it where I run it with black yarn. I think that'll be really pretty. I also have this brown yarn for if you're more of a foresty, woodsy type witch as well. And even here, I took brown glow-in-the-dark yarn as well. And then this one, best for last again, with all the black and the multicolors going through it. The whole hat glows in the dark as well, and it's so pretty. I need to figure out somewhere I can rig up my camera where it's dark so I can actually show you guys how this all looks. But currently, the only option I have for that is in my bathroom. And I'm just not ready for that yet. I'm in the process of trying to redecorate my house and everything's disarray. So, yay. But that's all of the things I'm going to show you guys. I know for a fact I missed some items because I know what I do and I don't have. But otherwise, if I did that, this video is going to be so much longer as I talk about each individual item. And with this being my first video, I really just don't want to do that. Come out and see me this Saturday, April 12th at Fighting Hand Brewery in Pineville, Louisiana, if you are in the area. The event goes from 5 o'clock to 9 o'clock. Yes, basically from 5 o'clock until they close. They have all their beers are brewed on site. They also have non-alcoholic items as well. They also usually have a food truck out there. I'm not too sure as to who the food truck's going to be this year. I mean, not this year, this month, but still come out and come see. If it's the egg roll people, their pizza egg rolls are awesome. Also, they do a pork chop plate where you get these 2 big pork chops and French fries, and it is delicious. I swear, down here in Louisiana, the best food you're going to get is from a food truck or a gas station. Better than most of the restaurants out here. But come on out here and see us, and I hope to see you guys there. Take care.